Part 2 Readings. Reading number 8, entitled France. Georges Valois Fachot was born in 1925 under the direct influence of Mussolini's Fascios, and while memories of the hopes, the comradeship, and the confidence of 1914 to 1918 still lived, it was a movement of ex-servicemen who wanted a world fit for heroes to live in. After 1926, the brief interlude between the Treaty of Locarno and the Great Depression killed it, by making both peace and prosperity seem attainable without drastic effort. At the other extreme, and perhaps as a result of such laziness of the mind and will, we find the National Popular Rally, or R.N.P., a socialist collaborationist group of the 40s set up in German-occupied Paris by a group of veteran socialists. In the platform he outlines below, Marcel Deat tries to reconcile anti-communism and anti-capitalism with the ethnic collectivism his Nazi masters impose, and with a strong call for European unity. Momentary pressures had turned national into international socialists, and gathered around the same losing cause, the collectivistic partisans of international organization and the chauvinistic prophets of national self-affirmation. End of Eugen Weber's foreword for Readings number 8. Reading number 8b, entitled Marcel Deat, What the R.N.P. Wants. Asterisk. From Marcel Deat, Un Parti, Un Chef. In brackets, Paris, 1943. End brackets. Pages 29 to 32. Number 1. Of France, which shall save its unity and its future by fulfilling its European duty against the evils of Bolshevism and of capitalism. Number 2. Of France, which takes a full-spirited part in the building of a solidary community of European nations. Number 3. A government determined upon this break with the past and this reconstruction, and whose internal policy is connected with that of European socialism. Number 4. A popular and authoritarian state, which would be, as the liberal and parliamentary state never was, the highest expression of national interest and of the French community, and before which selfishness, privilege, and feudalisms would give way. Number 5. A single people's party to support, drive, and control the revolutionary effort of the new state, propel the masses, assemble youth, and make mutual social aid from the cradle to the grave, the first task of the national community. Number 6. The immediate punishment of civilians and of military responsible for war and for defeat. The revision of injustices committed since July 1940, and the prosecution of unpunished offenses. Number 7. The widest tolerance for all religious beliefs. Churches and philosophic sects absolutely prohibited from all direct or indirect political activity, or from usurping in any way the educational function of the state, to which the political and civic formation of children and of youth belongs, and which owes each child a trade, an education, and an ideal. Number 8. Defense of the French ethnic community against unassimilable or noxious racial elements by measures of physiological, economic, and political protection, and its regeneration by ambitious policies for youth, sport, public health, and the family. Number 9. Destruction of the power of trusts and suppression of speculative profits. Number 10. State control of currency, credit, and prices. Number 11. Salaries which never fail to ensure the highest living standard compatible with an indefinitely progressive level of national productivity. Number 12. Organization of cooperative committees where labor will have a preponderant place, where the interests of all producers will be safeguarded, where the legitimate authority of the manager, chef d'entreprise, will be respected, and where the working class would know no limits to its social ascent than those of its merit and its capacities. Number 13, a powerfully equipped agriculture, capable of a production level matching European needs, and which would know at last, through security of sales at stable and remunerative prices, normal conditions of existence. Number 14, a supply policy ensuring the equitable distribution of essential goods, avoiding the superfluous controls of impotent statism, and suppressing the anarchic liberalism of the black market, thanks to the regulation of market prices at a normal rate of profit, and to the direct cooperation of producers, carriers, distributors, and consumers. Number 15, work for all elements of economic life, including the middle classes and the intellectual and liberal professions. Number 16, absolute protection of the rights of prisoners, veterans, and victims of the war, the community to assume responsibility for all elements that can take no part in production, but whose right to life cannot be questioned. End of reading 8b.